At about 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, November 2nd, breaking news hit. Cedar Fair, Six Flags merged into one company. We're going to go over all the information that is relevant to you, relevant to us. We did a video yesterday. Tons of you guys were commenting, talking about how you didn't want it to happen, that you thought it would happen, that you thought it wouldn't happen. Yesterday, you were saying that you didn't think it was going to happen. I said I thought it was going to happen. You were thinking more just like, I can't believe, my God, Six Flags and Cedar Fair are going to actually combine.
Yeah, stuff like this has happened. Like, parks have offered to buy out other, chains have offered to buy out other chains, but it's never happened.
Yeah, so you just were going by the fact that I can't believe that this will happen. I was thinking that this is probably the right time for something like this to happen. So I was going more that route. But here it is, official. And we're going to be reading off of the Cedar Fair website. So all this information is straight from the horse's mouth. And then at the end of the video, we'll give a couple comments and predictions and opinions and stuff like that. So before we get into any of that, we're going to go straight into the facts. Six Flags and Cedar Fair are merging into one company. At the top here, it says combined company will benefit from expanded complementary portfolio of 42 iconic parks and 9 resort properties across 17 states, Canada, and Mexico. Diversified geographic footprint with a more balanced presence in year-round operating climates, more robust operating model, and technology platform to drive improved guest experience and park efficiencies. Okay, it goes on, but basically that means that we're going from like 2 of the biggest park operators in the country and in the world.
Yeah, 2.
And kind of
one,
which will be the biggest instead of 2 of the biggest. I think this will have to be the biggest
chain in the world, maybe. I mean, yeah.
I think so. We don't know 100%. I don't know what some European park.
Like Merlin is a huge one. But this whatever it'll be called Six Flags, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But I think this will be bigger than Merlin. This will be bigger than anything else.
Okay, let's get into some of the technicalities of the merger first, and then we'll get into some more of the juicy stuff in a little bit. The combined merger, Cedar Fair unit holders will take on 51.2% of the stocks, while Six Flags holders will have 48.8% of the stocks. I think that has more to do with the fact that Cedar Fair stock is worth more. Cedar Fair stockholders will also receive one stock into the new company for every stock that they held in Cedar Fair. So if you had 10 stocks in Cedar Fair, you will get 10 stocks in the new Six Flags merged company. But if you held Six Flags stock, you only get 0.58 stocks for every 1 stock that you owned. So I'm not sure exactly how that will work. Maybe if you own 10 stocks, then you'll get 5 stocks and then some cash back or something like that. Not sure exactly, but either way, that's all the boring stuff. You guys don't come for the boring stuff. You guys come for all the important stuff. Like yesterday in the video, we talked about when 2 companies merge, they both have CEOs. There can only be one CEO of a company.
Yeah, and we were just thinking, which CEO is it going to be? Salim Basul or Richard Zimmerman? And Salim Basul is Six Flags, Richard Zimmerman is Cedar Fair, and it is going to be Richard Zimmerman that is CEO, which is kind of what we thought.
We predicted that because Richard Zimmerman seems to have more of the established resume, and also it seems like Cedar Fair is kind of taking the lead in this. It seems like they're the ones that are.
Bit, yeah.
It's a merger. It's a merger of equals is what they're calling it. But Cedar Fair, as we will get into more, they seem to be the ones that will be taking more of the lead and having more of the, keeping more of their environment and more of their, what word am I looking for? Like just, it's going to be more of a Cedar Fair run park than a Six Flags park. So we have some quotes. First one from Richard Zimmerman. It says, our merger with Six Flags will bring together two of North America's iconic amusement park companies to establish a highly diversified footprint and a more robust operating model and enhance park offerings and performance. And then later on, they have Salim Basul. He added, the combination of Six Flags and Cedar Fair will redefine our guests' amusement park experience as we combine the best of both companies. Best of both companies sounds good to me because both definitely have some strong points and some weak points. We have things that we prefer. The fact that we're more used to Cedar Fair parks, we go to more Cedar Fair parks than Six Flags
our home
parks.
park is a Cedar Fair park, and our two home parks are Cedar Fair parks. So we're more used to Cedar Fair.
Six Flags and Cedar Fair share a strong cultural alignment, operating philosophy, and steadfast commitment to providing consumers with thrilling experiences. By combining our operational models and technology platforms, we expect to accelerate our transformation activities and unlock new potential for our parks. We're excited to unite the Cedar Fair and Six Flags teams to capitalize on the tremendous growth opportunities and operational efficiencies of our combined platform for the benefit of our guests, shareholders, employees, and other stakeholders. That's a mouthful right there. So it sounds like he just had someone write up something that a whole lot of gibberish that sounded pretty good, but didn't really mean a whole lot.
Yeah.
They have some bullet points here on the Cedar Fair site, and it goes over some of the things that they feel like should be highlighted, obviously. We'll skip around and see exactly what we feel should be highlighted. They're combining the portfolio of 27 amusement parks, 15 water parks, 9 resort properties across 17 states in the US, Canada, and Mexico. So that's Six Flags. So Cedar Fair is going to be combining with them. Cedar Fair has 11 amusement parks, I think like 4 or 5 or something, water parks.
Yeah, and Cedar Fair only has parks in the United States, while Six Flags has parks in the
Canada.
Oh, well, yeah, they have Canada's one. Yeah. They have Canada and the United States. Six Flags has United States, Canada, Mexico, and then Saudi Arabia soon. I mean, they're going to technically have that park, but it's not going to be, they're going to own it, or they're going to operate it.
They're going to operate it, not own it. So it remains to be seen what exactly any sort of pass, any sort of like pass into all parks.
Yeah.
If the Saudi Arabia, the Qiddiya park will be part of that.
Hope it should. I think it should because it is Six Flags park, but that'd be nice because you get your pass would be good for parks in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, and Saudi Arabia. So that's pretty good.
And this is pretty big. A lot of people were kind of concerned about this and wondering about Cedar Fair. They basically have Peanuts. So they have Snoopy and Charlie Brown.
Yeah, a lot of all their kids area is themed to Snoopy, Peanuts, all that stuff. And while Six Flags, a lot of their kids and a lot of their normal rides are themed to DC
and Looney Tunes. So people were wondering, what will they keep? What will they get rid of? According to this, they will be keeping all 3. Mm-hmm. They'll be keeping Looney Tunes, DC Comics, and Peanuts.
It'll all stay the same. Like all the kids areas will still be DC and like Looney Tunes, and they'll be themed to Wonder Woman and stuff. And then Cedar Fair be all Peanuts.
They talk about the fact that now Cedar Fair will have more parks in different geographic areas and have more opportunity for year-round operations, which Cedar Fair really, really wanted to get into. Mm-hmm. That's why they tried Carowinds, King's Dominion, and California's Great America.
Yeah, they wanted all those to be year-round.
And they failed, and this past year we did a whole video about it just a few weeks ago or whatever. They announced that those parks will not be year-round anymore. but Cedar Fair really wants year-round operations because as of right now, the only year-round park that they have is Knott's Berry Farm down in Orange County, California, LA. So that's the only one. So now they're going to have a couple parks in Texas that they have more of an opportunity to keep year-round and stuff like that. And also they say that they don't overlap. In here they talk about how the parks don't really overlap a whole lot, meaning that you don't have Six Flags parks here and then Cedar Fair parks like right here, like literally right next to each other. They're spaced out enough where the competition isn't too high. There are two exceptions to that rule, and only one I think is a big deal. So the two exceptions are
Dorney Park and Six Flags Great Adventure. Those are kind of close to each other, and maybe like an hour-ish apart. And then Six Flags Magic Mountain and Knott's Berry Farm are they're both in the LA region.
Yeah, so LA is obviously a huge market. They can definitely afford to have two different amusement parks. They have Knott's Berry Farm and Magic Mountain are two very successful parks.
I mean, they have those parks and Disney and Universal.
Yeah, they all do very well. It's a tourist area. It's an area with a lot of residents.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, so
don't see an issue with that.
No. Dorney and Great Adventure, on the other hand.
That one might be the interesting one to take a look at. Dorney might be the odd park out in this whole thing. I wonder if they might look for a company to buy Dorney.
Because that's another thing. Will any parks be sold?
This is basically a lot of fluff. These bullet points, they talk about how the both teams bring different leadership skills and how they're going to keep everyone involved in a way, and we'll get into that more later here. And I think that other than some financial stuff that might just kind of bore people, I think we'll skip over that. Let's get into the stuff that might be a little bit more of interest to people, and then get into our opinions and thoughts and stuff like that. So here, leadership, corporate governance, and headquarters. From the website here, the combined company will be led by a proven management team that reflects the strengths and capabilities of both organizations. Upon closing of the transaction, Richard Zimmerman, President and CEO of Cedar Fair, will serve as President and CEO of the combined company. And Salim Basul, President and CEO of Six Flags, will serve as Executive Chairman of the combined company's Board of Directors. We predicted that Richard Zimmerman will stay on as CEO of the combined company, and that is indeed what's happening. We weren't really sure if Salim Basul would move on to a different.
I kind of figured he would stay. It kind of made sense, and he is staying with the company.
He's basically staying. He's going to be the head of the board of directors. So, in case you don't know, a board of directors is necessary on a publicly traded company because the owners of a publicly traded company are all the stockholders. You buy stock and you own a little piece of the company. Everyone owns such small pieces of the company. You need someone to be the voice because they can't have votes for every single thing that happens. That would just be insane. So you need someone to make decisions. The CEO makes the decisions, and the CEO can't have absolute power. So the board of directors is there in order to hire and fire CEOs and keep things in check and stuff like that. And they watch over and make sure the best interest of the stockholders is upheld. And the board of directors will consist of 12 people. It'll have 6 from Cedar Fair and 6 from Six Flags.
So perfectly even.
So it'll be split down the middle, and the tiebreaker will be the chief executive, Salim Basul. So Six Flags kind of has a little bit of the edge in the board of directors. So Brian Witherow, don't know how to say that, he was the CFO, the chief financial officer of Cedar Fair, and he will serve as the CFO of the brand new merged company. And so those are the two most important pieces of a company, the CFO and CEO. So Cedar Fair will have that. Six Flags will have the board of directors. So it's kind of even. They're kind of making it
pretty
even.
much. It's pretty much even.
Because this whole thing they were calling a merger of equals. So upon closing of the transaction, the combined company will operate under the name Six Flags and trade under the ticker symbol FUN. That FUN fund, that was the symbol for Cedar Fair stock. So they'll keep the symbol for Cedar Fair opposed to six, which was the trading symbol for
Six Flags.
But they're keeping the name Six Flags, which yesterday we talked about how you need to think of a new name for companies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they merge together. It can't be Cedar Fair and Six Flags. Yeah, you gotta have one name.
You need one company name. So you either need to come up with a new name,
or just use Cedar Fair or Six Flags in this example.
Yeah.
And just like we said, they are doing Six Flags because Six Flags has way more of a name for itself than Cedar Fair. Because Six Flags, a lot of people know Six Flags because it's in the name of all their parks. Six Flags Great Adventure, Six Flags St. Louis, Six Flags New England.
This is the second time that Six Flags kept a name through a merger or a buyout. Because years ago, a lot of people don't realize that Six Flags never actually bought Geauga Lake. And Geauga Lake being a small park in Ohio, close to where we're from. Geauga Lake was owned by a company, Premier Parks, and Premier bought Six Flags. So you ask yourself, well, why don't we ever hear of Premier Parks? Because Premier Parks bought Six Flags and then took the name Six Flags. We got through, the company. The company will be headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina, and will maintain significant finance and administrative operations in Sandusky, Ohio. So that's basically what has been going on with Cedar Fair. Cedar Fair was completely located in Sandusky, and they ended up moving a lot of the people down to Charlotte, North Carolina. So they kind of split the operations, trying to stay loyal to Sandusky. And so they are indeed keeping basically the same thing that Cedar Fair.
Yeah, main headquarters, Charlotte, but a lot of stuff will still happen in Sandusky.
Okay, so that is another thing that's keeping more towards Cedar Fair than Six Flags. Because you said that.
Yeah, Six Flags was in Arlington, Texas, so nothing in Texas, in Dallas, anything in that region, no.
Yeah,
no more.
Nothing mentioned of Texas in this entire article. So that about covers all of this stuff. So now some of our predictions and thoughts. First of all, if we think that this is good or bad, time will tell.
Yeah, it's impossible to say now. It could be better, it could be worse.
This is a day that in 10 years, 15 years, we're going to look on and say, I can't believe that happened. We're so lucky that happened, or oh my God, I can't believe that happened.
I'm sure it won't ruin everything. I'm sure it will be fine.
Probably.
And it's not as bad as people will think. People still talk a little bit about Paramount being bought out by Cedar Fair, but this isn't near that wasn't nearly as big as this.
No, this is huge. This is huge. The biggest merger in amusement park industry history, probably. What will this mean for day-to-day operations at these parks? The names of the coasters. Personally, I think they're going to kind of keep Six Flags parks very much like the Six Flags parks. I think the names of the coasters are obviously going to stay the same because they kept all the licensing rights. Mm-hmm. But I don't see now at Cedar Point and Kings Island and Knott's Berry Farm, I don't see them changing names to Batman.
No, I can't see any coaster names changing at all. No. They're not changing. They're not changing any Cedar Fair coasters. Orion isn't going to be the Joker. It's going to stay Orion. All the Cedar Fair names, they're going to stay the same. And same with Six Flags.
This merger is more about financial reasons That's solely what this is about. It's because the parks aren't doing that well. There's a downturn in the economy. People aren't spending as much. Discretionary funds aren't as high as they once were.
So it helps for
attendance
both
is lower.
if they just combine the profits and they all get it.
Yeah, so now this is purely a financial thing. I think you're still going to see a difference.
I don't think it's going to change
Between
the
the two
parks
parks.
a ton, but there are going to be some changes.
They're going to have to make some changes.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to.
One thing, pass holders. Okay, so let's get into passes. They'll probably take over the Cedar Fair type of pass structure, because let's be honest, Six Flags was all over the place with their pass structure. They kept getting, not that Cedar Fair didn't get rid of passes, they just did this past year. But I think they were a little bit more consistent and a little bit more logical than Six Flags. It was very confusing. If you ever went on a Six Flags website and tried to find information,
they have a bunch of different passes, and especially this upcoming year, 2024, Cedar Fair is only going to have two passes. So Gold Pass, Prestige Pass.
Yeah, so that's it. So
very simple.
Yeah, so I think that they're going to end up doing that. So I think Six Flags, I think those parks will move into the pass structure of Cedar Fair. Price-wise, so right now Cedar Fair is going to have a Gold Pass, and then you can add the All-Park Passport, which gets you into all their parks. One question would be, would that up the price a ton?
Yeah, because now you're going to be getting into all the Six Flags parks.
Yeah, Cedar Fair had 11 parks. So when you were buying All-Park Passport for 2024,
you got into all those 11
you were
parks.
getting into 11. You had the possibility of getting into 11 parks, so you were paying for the possibility of 11 parks. Now you can look at it like, okay, they're going to raise the price because now you have the possibility of getting into over 30 some parks.
Yeah.
So you have more opportunity, so the price might go up. But I don't think, if the price does go up much at all, I think it's going to be very insignificant.
It's not going to be anything crazy.
Because now it's almost like wholesales. Wholesale, they want volume sales. Now the company is going to be making money off of selling passes at 30 some different parks instead of just 11 or 20 whatever parks from Six Flags. Now you're going to have the people at those pass holders. So that's even more revenue. So I don't see the passes going up a ton. So I don't think that the pass structure is going to be a big deal, or the pass pricing. I think they're going to move with the Cedar Fair pass structure and keep prices, at least for the most part, the same or very similar. We are season-long Fastlane holders, so we have season-long Fastlane to all Cedar Fair parks. Right now, a big question would probably be to anyone that uses the Fastlane system at Cedar Point or the Flash Pass system at Six Flags.
Cedar Fair. But yeah, will they do Cedar Fair's Fastlane system, or they do Six Flags Flash Pass system?
I think personally Cedar Fair's makes more sense and is easier.
The Flash Pass system at Six Flags is very complicated, and it's there's a lot going on. Cedar Fair's is very simple, so I think they'll have to use the fast lane.
And the big question will be, will the park-wide season-long fast lane, will that go up? That's the thing that I'm afraid will go up pretty large in price.
There's got to be
not huge, but I think there will be an increase
with the passes and Fastlane. There's got to be some sort of level of tiers, because when you have over 30 amusement parks that you can go to, that's a lot, and most people aren't going to all of those parks. So there's got to be some sort of level of tiers.
So you're saying season-long Fastlane might have a tiered system where
maybe, or at least just the regular passes,
where you get into a certain amount of parks, or you get the fast lane at certain parks but not others, or something like that. That would make sense. It's all up in there. It's all speculation at this point. I don't know if it's still going on right now, but at 8:30 a.m. Now it's 9:40. It might be over now, but they were doing a conference call talking all about this. And I don't know, maybe they addressed a couple of these things. I doubt it. I doubt that they
said too much.
Yeah, they
more.
probably said a lot of what is already in. They probably just repeated a lot of what was in on the Cedar Fair website.
But yeah, all this stuff is just brand new. Like it was announced like hour and a half ago, whatever.
We put this together pretty fast, obviously, because the news just came out and we got up and got to it. So we didn't have any notes about what we want to talk about. So I'm pretty sure we covered everything off the top of my head that we wanted to cover. So we will get on. We will move along from this video. Let you guys move on with your day. Let you guys go and take all this information in. So thank you for joining us. If you're new to this channel, please go down and subscribe. It helps us so much. Give a like to this video. Comment. Our video yesterday was people were commenting left and right, which is great.
Which is
love,
great.
Love to see it.
Keep doing that and just say what you think about this. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
If you're already a subscriber, thank you for coming back. You guys mean the world to us. And if you want to take one step above that, you can be like one of these people right here. They are channel members.
Yeah, they
appreciate them so much.
They get exclusive videos, exclusive pictures, all sorts of exclusive stuff, and they help us a ton.
So if you want to be on that list of channel members, you can go down in the description. There's a link. Join one of 2 tiers on that. So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Big news. Big day for all of us. So we'll see you guys right here next time with all the latest breaking information right here on Beach Cliff Studios. See you.